All right. Welcome to the GiSquad, a space we created to share life on and off the mats. We're just a bunch of blue belts talking about training, culture, growth, and all the moments that happen in between. Whether you're rolling every day or you're cheering from the sidelines, we're glad you're here with us. Today on the podcast, we've got someone who truly lives that jiu-jitsu mom life. She's a brown belt under Rodrigo Baga Ramos, a dedicated mom, and the powerhouse behind the Instagram, TheJiuJitsuMom, where she's documented not just one, but 2 pregnancies in her jiu-jitsu journey. She's honest, tough, funny, and such a needed voice in the BJJ community. We're excited to dive into her story, her mindset, and all the awkward, funny, and empowering moments that come with being a mom on the mats. Welcome to the GiSquad. Please tell us a little bit about yourself today.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here, by the way, because I've been following since you guys have started. And I'm like, oh, this is so needed in our community. But yes, my name is Daniela, but everyone knows me as the Jiu-Jitsu Mom. And it's funny because when I meet people and they're like, we don't know your name, but we've been following you forever. And I'm like, oh yeah, I have to put that somewhere.
Fun fact, I didn't know your name until today. I was like, what is her name?
Everywhere, but nowhere.
Jiu-Jitsu Mom.
Yeah, I just know the name because I looked her Instagram and I was like, gotta have her name somewhere.
We had to dig. We all dug.
Yeah, she's got to have a speeding ticket, something. Yeah. She's got to be dirty. Yeah, so my journey actually started 10 years ago, April 1st, 2016. I started jiu-jitsu, so I've been doing this for almost 10 years.
Nice.
I love it. I can say that I'm fully committed at this point. I actually started from a self-defense approach, and after that, I stayed for the community. The community has been amazing. We've all grown together, and you have that. When you find that gym that's your home, and you really build that community within, that's why you stay.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, like I love my gym. I love my gym, and I love that we're at a point in time where, you know, social media has really helped us network. Open mats, the women's community is growing so quickly, which it's also amazing to see within the last 10 years that I've been training. That's been really fun. But it's been a wild ride for 10 years. I didn't know that this was where I was going to end up, and I can't wait to see where it takes me.
I love hearing that because that's how we feel about our gym. And obviously there's a lot of, not so great gyms, and we've heard a lot about it on the social media and everything, but it's nice to hear another gym close by that has that beautiful community also.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that there's so many takeaways. I was always an active kid. I played a lot of soccer when I was little. I got into volleyball at some point. And it was like, I grew up in the family dynamic where you were just out every weekend. Because I was born in Argentina, but I grew up in Utah. And it's a very outdoor state. Yeah. So you're outside all year. You're either in the snow or you're in the middle of the desert or you're in the mountains, but you're out,
Wow.
So when I came here, just trying to find sports, it's usually been the sports that I like have always been male dominated. Yeah. It's always been a male dominated scene. So when I started jiu-jitsu, I was already comfortable with that. I know it's not the most common approach. Usually, from the female perspective, it's more, I don't feel so comfortable. Mm-hmm. It's the male dominated space. So for me, it was a very natural thing. But it's the first time that I do any kind of discipline or martial art to begin with, but also the first thing that I take so seriously in my life and actually apply things outside of the mats, outside of the gym. I have so much philosophical return from what I do that it's one of those things where now I'm like, this needs to be part of my life. This is such a gain for me. And I think that a lot of people can attest to that, where you have so many takeaways where you step off the mat, but there's still the cogs are still moving upstairs, and you just deal with your life so differently. And that's just been the biggest thing.
Yeah, I agree.
You mentioned you played soccer before, and I think we talked about it, or I listened to it earlier about it. When you played soccer, you realized there was some aggression going on, and then when you did jiu-jitsu, it's like the aggression is different. It's a respect to, that there's a respect in it. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. Actually, at the point where I decided to no longer play soccer, I used to play a lot of co-ed, and the position that I love to play is defensive mid. It's a very aggressive position. And I was playing at that time for a league with some friends, and it was hard to play because if you didn't have at least 2 girls on the field, they'd have to cancel the game. You'd forfeit the game, so it wasn't like it got rescheduled. So that was tough. Sometimes you'd get forfeited. And we're like, okay, well, I showed up, and then sometimes you would show up and then the girls just didn't want to rotate in. So I'd just play the whole game. All right, that's cool. And then what ended up happening is just that because I liked playing my position so well, I'm not a dirty player.
But you're aggressive.
It's my opinion. You can ask someone else who may not agree. But I'm not a dirty player, but I am aggressive. I know how to use my body. I will stop you because the guys are not small. Forwards are not small.
Sounds very familiar.
Midfielders are not small, you know? So I felt very comfortable playing that position. And it got to a point where I think that in your 30s, if you are a frustrated person and you haven't done anything with that frustration, it starts to come out. And after a game, they got canceled. We decided to just scrimmage with the other team at an empty field. And I took the ball from a guy because I was playing my position. I passed it along, but he didn't like how I did it. And he got in my face. He got in my face and they had to hold me back. So I was like, excuse you, we're here to have fun, sir. Yeah. Okay. The ref got paid $5.
Yeah.
Okay.
This isn't professionals.
Yeah.
What is your deal? You know, and it was just, I noticed that was happening a lot more often. And at that time, I was doing cardio kickboxing at American Top Team Weston and Davie.
Nice.
I was already doing kickboxing like 3-4 times a week. And then on my Mondays, I was doing, you know, my co-ed soccer on Mondays. And then I saw I was just so aggressive. And I'm like, I'm paying to be here. This is so silly.
It's not fun.
I'm not taking anything away from this. My back hurts when I leave for 3 days. This doesn't make any sense for me anymore. I'm not having fun. This is not for me. And then at the same time, I actually, now Mauricio, one of our black belts, he was a purple belt at the time. And he goes, seeing me leave from like the kickboxing classes, I'd like cool down. You have like your 5-10 minutes to compose yourself. And he's like, have you ever tried jujitsu? I'm like, no, I have no idea what these people are doing. I just see a bunch of this.
Yeah.
On the floor.
Guys and girls on top of each other and nothing weird.
It looks like they're killing each other.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who's winning. I don't know who's losing.
You can't tell.
So I'm curious, but I have no idea what they're doing. And then I see them hug at the end. It's very confusing.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is for me, whatever. And then something happened to one of my close friends, his mother. Something happened to her where she was in her home. Someone broke into her home, forced her out of her home, and drove her in her own car somewhere and abused her and almost killed her. And she was in her home.
Yeah.
Helpless, you know.
horrible.
It's not like she was out in a parking lot.
Right,
You know,
right.
she was living her best life at home.
Where
and
you
then that
thinking you're
goes and
safe.
happens on a Tuesday night. And I was like, wow, we are so exposed and we don't see this just in general, but forget, you know, being male, female, we're so exposed and we don't have tools to do anything about it. Cause you put yourself in that person's shoes and you're like, what do you do? Like if you don't have any previous training, I didn't have any firearms training either. That's more my husband's area. He's more comfortable with that. I was like, what do? I'm a sitting duck. You know, that can happen to anybody. That can happen to me. And so after that, I was like, well, Mauricio, I think I'm ready for a trial class. Let's see what this is about. Cause you always hear, they promote self-defense. So that's where I started. And I started for that and I stayed for the community. 100%. The community was like really what.
So it was just
kept me.
like a self-defense class, or it was jiu-jitsu?
No, it was jiu-jitsu. My first class was closed guard, getting out of the closed guard with like a 250-pound guy.
Oh, nice.
It was my introduction to jiu-jitsu. But it was such a contrast to something like soccer and that's like part of, you know, our passion. I'm from Argentina and that's something that's just in our veins. Like I have gotten to the point where I've limited. I don't watch our clubs anymore. I only watch the World Cup.
Yeah,
I'll watch some of the eliminatories when it's an important game and Copa America. And that's it. I can't handle the games. I get too excited. Things start flying. It's not my scene. So, so for me, taking something that was something I played for years and I'm like, this is horrible. Why do I feel miserable every time I leave here? And then I started jiu-jitsu and I'm like, everyone hangs out.
After choking each other.
After killing each other for an hour and a half. And everyone's having fun and everyone's making jokes and just the camaraderie and everyone was very welcoming. And I was like, hey, this is a cool scene. Like I'm ditching this co-ed. Like, I'm not even finishing the season. Like I stopped answering the group text. I'm like, yeah, I'm out. And I just started showing up to Mondays and Wednesdays gi. I fell in love with the gi. I still love the gi.
We love the gi
I do
too.
know gi, but
We love the gi
but
too.
I love a good pajama party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's where I started, you know.
So that was in 2016.
2016.
But you are already doing like kickbox on the same place.
I was, yeah.
Yes.
So they had a really cool cardio Muay Thai and cardio kickboxing class. And they also had CrossFit back then when CrossFit was like the biggest.
It was
scene.
huge.
Yeah, it was
like,
massive.
yeah.
Yeah, so they had all that. And I was like, oh, let me do some cardio kickboxing. Sometimes I do like 2 classes back to back. Like I loved it. And it's one of those things where I learned more about nutrition doing cardio kickboxing than playing soccer for years and years, because they would talk about how to breathe properly, how to fuel yourself properly. Like Priscilla Mbaga, Priscilla ran that project, and she was amazing with the coaching off on the sides. Like I learned how to breathe with Priscilla, which is crazy that I had to learn how to breathe in my 30s when I'm doing any kind of workout.
Yep.
Right?
It's true. I didn't become aware of it. I'm 33. I didn't become aware of it until I got into jiu-jitsu, and I did a lot of like, other workouts or even sports when I was doing like hockey and football and things that were more male dominated at the time.
Right.
So it was, and even then you're right. There's like this, there's this energy that still, even afterwards, like it doesn't give back to you, you know, like you're trying to expel this negative energy and make it something positive, and it's not happening. So I think that jiu-jitsu is like the missing piece to that.
Yeah, like you need to see the return. You need to feel the return. Yeah. Otherwise, it's like, what are you pouring your energy into? And that's one of those things that you translate into your life. Like if you're going to do something, and it's not that you're always looking for the takeaway, but there should be something positive coming from that. If not, you're just wasting energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The valuable time that you have, you know?
For sure.
Good way to see it. Does your husband train also?
He started training before me. And then after that, he actually got really into tennis. Yeah, so he went that route. And
Didn't see that one coming.
No,
I was like, what do you get into?
He's a pro wrestler now. Well, he got into tennis because he also saw that a lot of the guys, when we would hang out, like he was doing privates with Mauricio and someone else at our gym. And he kept hearing that people were like, oh yeah, I can't do this because my shoulder. I can't do this because whatever. Yeah. Oh, I have ACL surgery coming up. And he's like, unsubscribe. I don't want any problems with that kind of stuff. But we have always like we watch like the UFC BJJ together. Now that that's popping,
cool,
we've always watched like the ADCC. He'll watch highlights with me, or we've always watched UFC, and we'll sometimes watch other promotions, but mostly UFC. And now that we understand the grappling a lot more, we can have actual conversations about it. Yeah. So you enjoy it so much more.
Nice. And your kids?
My kids started.
How old are they now?
They're small, right?
Mila's 7.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, and Aiden is turning 4 in mid-April. Yeah.
Nice.
And Aiden just started like in October, November. He started with no gi. He loves it. But he likes the gi.
Oh.
Mila is in her no gi era.
Oh.
Yeah, she did gi for a while, and after that she's like, I think I'll try the no gi, and she loves the no gi more.
Live life on the edge, nice and free.
But they grew up around it. Like there was no option with me because I trained through both pregnancies. When the first day I found out I was pregnant, I was like, oh my God, what do I do? I felt like the target on my back got so much bigger. I was scared of the world. The hormonal reaction was that. I'm afraid of everything. What if I go to Publix and something happens to me? What am I going to do? And my husband's like, well, you're going to have to take a break from kickboxing and jiu-jitsu. I'm like, no, now is when I need to train more. He's like, you are insane. You're going to get hurt. Something's going to happen to the baby. What are we going to? I'm like, no. I'm going to go talk to my doctor. I'm going to make sure everything is okay. And if the doctor says it's okay, then we can have this conversation again. And I talked to my doctor, and my doctor's like, listen, I don't know anything about grappling, maybe wrestling, because I had a friend who was a college wrestler. But from what I'm understanding, from what you're asking, or for what you're telling me, because he asked me a bunch of questions. Well, what about this? And what about that? I'm like, well, it's more like we hug a lot.
Hugging, yeah.
We're not, he's like, but is there striking? I'm like, no. He's like, so are you good? And I'm like, well, usually you can start on the knees, or if you.
He's like, this sounds really weird.
Start. I know. When you have to explain it to somebody who's not familiar, you're like, I sound like such, such an airhead. They're probably like, what is this? I don't know if I want to ask any more questions. So he's like, it seems like it's a pretty controlled environment. It seems like it's a very slow pace, controlled pace. It's not like a, balls to the wall kind of activity. So what I recommend is stay hydrated, make sure you're sleeping. If you don't feel well, sit out and see where it takes you. Just talk to your coach. I'm sure that, they're very experienced people. They know what you should avoid and what not to do. And just update me on every visit. Let me know how you're feeling, and just no weight cutting. I'm like, okay. So I go back to my husband and he's like, well, I don't know. And at that time, and it's funny because I kept telling him, like, babe, I'm going to be out in the middle of the street. Something's going to happen to me. He's like, you are being a crazy person right now. I'm like, no, this can happen.
I live in that world. I understand that.
Yes.
I'm paranoid.
It happened. There was like a 19, 20-year-old. She was pregnant. She was like 7 or 8 months pregnant. She was leaving somewhere. She was in a parking garage and someone attacked her, killed her, took her baby and went to a hospital and said, I just gave birth and I need someone to help. And obviously later they figured it out. And it was literally the same week. And I'm like, you see, I told you, this is out there. And he's like, okay, go talk to Baga, see if they're okay with you training and let me know what they say. I'm like, okay. So then I had that conversation with Baga. I'm like, Baga, I haven't told anybody yet. Cause you have those first 3 months where it's like, oh, you know, you gotta wait, you gotta see.
So you didn't train during the first 3 months?
No,
Not at
not
all?
as much. I would sit out. I would sit out because I wasn't
sit
sure. Yeah, I would go. I would sit out. Or it's like I was also nursing like a lower back injury, so that was like my get out of jail free card. Yeah. It's very common to hear, oh, I have an injury. Oh, okay. Yeah, no one asks.
Yeah.
Or it's like, yeah, we live injured. It's fine.
Yeah.
So that's a good cop out. If you want to,
If you're pregnant, don't want to tell anyone
you
yet.
just found out and you haven't told anybody yet. Just say, oh,
my
the
back.
sciatic. The plantar fasciitis. I'm sorry. So that was a good cop out. And I'd drill on and off. And then Baga was like, listen, no one has ever, like, I've never coached anybody pregnant, but let's see what happens. Yeah. Let's play along. Let's see what the limits are. And then after that, I was like, well, let me find information on the internet. So of course I went to Instagram, nothing, absolutely nothing. The only person that was training pregnant and relatively training was Eve Torres Gracie. This was a very long time ago. And she would post videos, but it would be like 2 or 3 because it wasn't like a big thing. More or less the feeling was, well, you're pregnant. We'll see you in 10 months. Yeah. I'm like, that can't be right. As in jiu-jitsu for everybody, I'm making this for me. So Baga and the rest of my teammates, they were amazing with being just so accommodating to that.
And how was just let's talk about a little bit more about that. It's very interesting. How was? Did you just drill? Did you roll during this time? Did you like? How was it?
Yeah, I was sparring. Yeah,
until you like.
Yeah, with Mila,
8 months.
With Mila, I was sparring until 7 months. I just got too bloated after that. My feet were like balloons with little sticks. You know, it was horrible. Yeah. And then I was drilling up until about 8.5. And then I was just way too big. It was just uncomfortable. So I'd go and I'd sit and I'd ask questions. I would watch.
Yes.
You know, because I was like in my blue belt, like, what is it? I had the blue belt ambition because I was a blue belt when I found out I was pregnant with my first.
Oh, wow.
And then with my son, I was less bloated. I retained a lot less liquid. And thankfully, both of my pregnancies were very healthy, smooth sailing. And with him, I sparred at open mat 3 days before my C-section.
Wow.
Sparring. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. It was super heavy is very underrated. It was like the best time ever. Yeah. Your pressure, your top position is amazing. And everyone's like, oh, you're so delicate. And I'm like,
you're like
no,
rough.
I'm fragile like a bomb. Okay.
Watch this grenade.
Because, you know, you find out very early in your jiu-jitsu career if you like to pull or if you like to play, if you like to smash and pass all day. That's always been
even
like
more
my
when you were
favorite.
pregnant.
Oh, yes. When you discover how much more control you have over the positions, and then your partners, you can always reset. Like once you kind of adapted, and it sounds kind of crazy, once you've adapted the mentality of, oh, let's treat this as if I were training with an injury or coming back from an injury, it changes your perspective.
100%.
It teaches you to think like, okay, I can't
adapt.
do this. I can do something else from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was very fun.
It's a
beautiful.
very good one.
It's like it slows it down
to
in your
think
brain
about it
too.
Oh, yes.
When you're rolling and then you're like, oh, I can't use this, so now I need to use this arm and I need to go this way. It's like like there are natural. I feel like your body becomes. It is more natural after you've been doing jiu-jitsu for a certain period of time. Like there's going to be some muscle memory. There's going to be some, things in your brain that you've done in repetition.
Yeah, 100% repetition.
They feel natural now. But there's still movements that don't feel freaking natural at all. And you have to really think about it. And I feel like it's like that when you have an injury. Like
that's so true. Yeah, because by inertia, you'll want to use something. You're like, oh, I can't. And you're like, wait, but what's my plan B? And that's where your jiu-jitsu starts to shine.
Right.
And I felt selfish up until maybe the end of my last pregnancy. Because I was like, man, everyone that rolls with me, just thinking back, Monday morning quarterback, you're like, man, I'm so selfish. Because everyone that rolls with me, like they have to deal with me. Like, oh, I can't do any on belly. I can't do this. And one of our brown belts, he goes, I loved rolling with you both pregnancies because I had to change my game with you. I had to step out of my comfort zone. My game was completely useless and you knew what you were doing. So then I had to think of my plan Bs and my game changed. I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, I'm so happy I could contribute something to you because I felt super selfish. Like, oh, everything is about me. And it's not. So if you're going to stay on the mats or even when you're coming back after an injury, like it does help your teammates because you're creating like a handicap, I guess, if
A crutch,
you're going to call it something. And then it's like, oh, I have to think of something completely different. Like I got to cook something up and you don't have a lot of time to do it. You've got your 5 minutes. So you really got to be cooking when you're rolling.
You have to pick a different direction.
Would you start on your knees always?
No, I liked to do takedowns.
Did you start even on pregnancy?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, I liked it. I felt more comfortable. Throughout my pregnancy, I also took tennis for a little bit. So I was like 7-8 months. And then like with my son, I was doing I was doing tennis classes. And I liked it because it actually helped me with my stand-up and my base. It helped me with my base a lot and be very aware of where my feet were.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like super random things. I know there's a few people that like gave me slack in the comment section, like, or I got some DMs like, you shouldn't be wrestling. And I'm like, if I'm out at Publix, I'm not going to pull guard. It's that's never been me. 2, why would I do that? You know, number 1, I'm running away, like waddling. But also the contact is usually going to be standing unless they're pushing me to the ground. And even then, the technical stand-up when you're pregnant is a very useful tool, by the way. But it's one of those things where these are things that the reason why I kept training is because I need to be aware of how I move when I'm bigger.
Yeah.
Because the target on my back just got so huge. That's how I felt. So I was like, all right, so how can I do things so that I move differently? How can I be more self-aware when I'm out? How am I going to move if something happens? Like you play all these scenarios in your head. And I'm like, okay, I need to do wrestling. So the duck unders were my favorite. Yeah, good duck under for the back. Oof.
Nice.
Chef's
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to go crazy. You just have to find the ways. Like I'm not doing a fireman's carry, but I'm going to do something to where I'm going to be up and you're going to be on the floor. And that gives me a chance. That's all I need.
I would think that too. Like I would think if I was pregnant again, I would still continue with jiu-jitsu because it's a way of life now. I think if you're really in it, you just learn how to work your life into it, you know? Like I'm starting to really believe that more and more.
Yeah, I always see like, we always see those informations. Like if the weightlifters, they lift until they like the day before they deliver, because you are already doing that in your life. So you are already doing that for like how many years? So why would you stop?
Why would you change it? If anything, it would just make
you adapt. That's exactly what she said. You adapt. No one's gonna put new on belly on you, but you can do other things. You adapt the other day with my shoulder. You know, we didn't use arms.
Absolutely, it's adapt and overcome, and that's the whole game.
Yes,
There's been like a big shift in that, I think, over the years, and big kudos to you for doing it. For seriously, I think my first pregnancy, I'm going to tell you flat, I wouldn't have rolled. I wouldn't have continued with jiu-jitsu probably because I was super paranoid about how delicate I thought I was. I didn't know. And I think first pregnancy, people worry a lot. Yeah. Totally normal. First one, I even stepping outside in the cold, I was like, did I do something to the baby? I worried. We struggled getting pregnant. So it was I wanted to be very, very careful.
For sure, because it's uncharted water.
It is. Then afterwards, in the second one, totally different. Worked out whenever I could. It was very, very different. But still, like, big kudos to you. And I'm glad that you're on social media and sharing this story for so many women who are going to question it, because I feel like we see a lot of the weightlifters who now we know, like, absolutely keep working out while you're pregnant. No reason to stop. Listen to your body. You're tired, you're dehydrated, then listen to that. Right. But you can certainly keep on. You can certainly keep building muscle. You can do all these things. So as for jiu-jitsu, it's awesome what you're doing. And then also bringing that importance to keep doing it safely. And I think that in jiu-jitsu, we learned that early on, like with the whole, like you get a little bit injured outside of jiu-jitsu, we might just stop.
Right.
But in jiu-jitsu, we're so addicted and we love it.
For sure.
But we adapt. And I mean, how beautiful is that lesson on and off the mats? Like that was one of the things you brought up right away, that we still learn constantly off the mats too.
Constantly learning. I appreciate those words. Thank you. Because I got, especially with my first pregnancy, even just from my friends, is like, what are you doing? You are insane.
You're a badass. That's what you are.
Time. I'm like, you don't understand. It's not like when I wasn't pregnant. They're like, we just see you flying around in your videos. We don't understand what's happening, because I have friends that don't train. And is it that important? I'm like, yes, you don't understand.
It's part of you.
I need it.
Yeah.
But it is. And I love that it's not just more socially accepted. There's so much more science now. There's so much more information. Like I follow a lot of I want to say, influencers, but a lot of PhD nutritionists, trainers that, they're like, it's the same approach. It's not the time for PRs. No.
Right.
But it's a time to keep moving. You want to stay active. It's good for
important.
several reasons. And I'm definitely going to share more of those resources, because I share them from time to time. When I see a good one, I'm like, oh, hey, look into this. Now there's more information on, creatine intake. There's more information
100%.
on, how to stretch properly. There's more information on, why rest is so important in recovery and things that you can do. And just in general for women's health, I feel like in the last 5 years, there's so much more information to where fitness actually benefits us so much more than it benefits men. Which is insane, because before everything was just the bro science. You just trusted the bro science. And it's like, oh, you're pregnant, we'll see you in 10 months. But now it's like, no, stay active, stay hydrated, stay on top of your nutrition, fuel your body. That weight cut crap, it's pure crap,
Enjoy that bulk.
You have, enjoy the bulk. Yes, the bulk season, I know your body, it's not that you become back burner, but your priorities change, and it's a season, and you'll be able to come back to you and nurture yourself. And jiu-jitsu gives you that excuse, like, okay, this is my me time. This is, the time where I'm like, okay, now I'm postpartum. I need to make sure I'm, hydrated. I need to make sure I'm eating the right amount of calories. I'm also training more, so I need to, compensate for that. I need to sleep as much as I can, wherever I can, especially those first 6 months, babe. My goodness, it's tough, but you find a way.
Yeah.
And I love that there's so much more emphasis on that now. Now, it's a game changer, really.
So how long after you delivered the babies you got back to jiu-jitsu?
With both
How
of
was
them,
the journey like to come back and starting, your body?
It was 6 weeks for both of them.
6 weeks.
And prior to coming back, it was like just making sure I was walking. I had both of them were C-sections. With my first, it was an emergency C-section because I was not dilating. She was past her due date. I was like 60 pounds overweight. She was over 9 pounds. And I got to 9.5 centimeters with like Pitocin and everything, and her heart rate started elevating. And they're like, well, do you want to try pushing? She's over 9 pounds. I'm like, I'm not the doctor, so you tell me what you think you should do.
What do you think is
and my
course of
epidural
action?
didn't hit like half of my body. It was just very dramatic. I'm like, just take her out. And then when I went in for my C-section, the C-section was very traumatic. For whatever reason, whatever they gave me didn't work. And I felt my C-section. She had her first bowel movement. It was such a nightmare. And even then, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I wore the medical girdle, which I wish I had worn out of the hospital. I waited a couple of days, but as soon as I put that on, I was like, wow.
What is that?
It's the girdle. Yeah,
How you
it's
call
like
that?
a medical brace.
Medical brace.
Yeah, it's like a brace.
Okay.
It's like a corset. So it makes you feel like everything is
abdominals
together.
Okay.
Because when you take it off, it feels like everything is
Just
still
like loose.
moving because there's so much space still and everything has to, go back.
Come back to place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because your abdominals stretch apart when you're pregnant. They literally stretch apart like this, and then they have to come back together. Because I had a similar situation. It was an emergency C-section.
Oh,
He gave me
really?
the choice.
Wow.
He said, yeah, she's, I went almost, how many months? I went like almost 10, I went a long time. I went 40 weeks.
They didn't want to come out.
No,
Like,
she
we're good
didn't.
where we are.
She wasn't even, she was breech.
Oh, she was
So
breech.
yeah, I could feel it. And he's like, we should do we'll induce you. And then if we need to, we can do a C-section. And I said, no, her head's up in my ribs. We can go ahead. You can schedule me tomorrow, and her heart rate's already fluctuating.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to have
What
an
time do I
emergency
need to be here?
C-section. I know I can see that in my future, and you can't. But it's a similar situation. But yeah, at 6 weeks, I was given the same So to be able to go back to working out.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where you're coming back. It's, it's going to feel like a lot of cardio rounds because of all the excess weight, and, your body is still recovering. It takes a year and a half to recover from birth. So you have to give yourself grace. And again, you're not chasing PRs. You're not chasing, you're not building your technical game again. You're just moving. You're moving. You have pelvic floor to deal with. You have pelvic floor rehab to deal with, especially, C-section. So you have to be mindful of those things and be like, this is a season. It passes. It passes. The time will go. It's frustrating in the moment because you're in the thick of it. And then you're like, I have a new human. I have to keep the human alive. I have to keep myself alive. I have to keep, the family going. You still have your dynamic, and you're like, you get lost in the sauce very quickly. So it's very important to just like put a pin in things, reassess, take a step back, and be like, all right, let's put out the fires as we go. We'll figure it out. The baby starts growing. They start sleeping longer. They eat differently later. And then you can get back to like, okay, let's recenter.
Yeah. So you were blue belt on your first baby and purple belt on the second
Purple
one?
with the second.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, purple.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really nice how you put it,
Such a
that
nice-
it's such
yeah.
it's just a phase, because a lot of people even I think some women even don't even try jujitsu because they might be trying to get pregnant and they worry about it.
Yeah.
And we get so in our heads, we try to control so much. But if we just remember that all of it's a phase, if you just go in, and jujitsu helps you relax, take your mind off of things. I think that's super important.
100%,
And
yeah.
if you get pregnant, you can still go and keep going.
It
If-
actually might be beneficial for some,
Right,
you know?
Yeah.
It builds up so much of your abdominal muscles, and so much
It does.
of your hips, your legs, your arms.
Everything.
I mean, your quads, just all of it just becomes stronger. So if anything, I would think now it would, unless you have any other type of issues that are, out of a normal range, I'll call it that.
Right.
I think it's good. I think women should do it more. I think they would have better pregnancies, honestly.
And I
do.
think that an important part to that is number one, talk to your doctor.
Yeah.
Number one. And then number two, the community. If your partner's okay with that, because that's a huge deal. If your partner is completely like, no, it shouldn't be a battle.
Right,
It's
yeah.
not worth having that friction in your relationship or throughout your pregnancy over something that, if you have to table it, that's okay.
Yeah.
A lot
Season.
of people do it and then they come back.
Then come back.
It's fine.
Absolutely.
The mats are always waiting for you. There's no rush. This is not a race. Everybody's got a personal situation. I'm very grateful that both of my pregnancies were a non-issue, if you will. It was just standard smooth sailing. And not every pregnancy is like that. Like even going into my second pregnancy, I'm like, listen, I had a good one the first time. Let's see what happens with this one, because not every pregnancy is the same.
Yep.
It was very similar, some different things here and there, but more or less very similar. But you have gestational diabetes. You have preeclampsia. You have so many other things. You have women that have to be in bed
Yeah, because they're vomiting. And,
because they're vomiting,
Yeah,
because
it's
the
horrible.
nausea just does not stop. So it's, you gotta take every situation and look at it and be like, all right, does this make sense? Is this something we can come back to? Or maybe if you can't physically roll, go drill, have some movement. And if you don't feel like it, because I had days where I would just go and just talk crap. And I'm like, your guard sucks.
Awesome.
Hey, as soon as that baby's
We're good at that.
you're top of the list. I'm like, sure, I'll be here. I'll be waiting. You know,
I
to go
think
talk crap, be part of the
date.
community, because that also
Huge.
was very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The community.
The connection.
I mean, I see when I went to Brazil this time, actually was a lady that I don't know her. So she was there every day and she just sat and she would do just the technique. She didn't drill, she didn't rope, but she would go, she was there every day, and it maybe is also good for the mind, she's there watching and she will sit on the back, and that's what she did the whole time. Actually, I had a lot of people sitting on the back, but I'm mainly guys. I think it was injuries,
Yeah.
But they what I'm saying that because is there is other ways to be part of. So you just don't need to be there. There is other ways to be part, and don't like, okay, I'm gonna leave now because I'm pregnant for 9 months and I come back. No, there's ways that you can be part of the community and training your mind. Maybe
You can coach, you can, ask
absolutely.
questions. It's like having a free instructional for 9 months. You can go and ask all the questions you want, and you don't have to hit pause. They just talk to you. You know, it's better than, you know, BJJ fanatics.
Yes,
And the
true.
community thing was a big deal. For my first, throughout my first pregnancy, I actually went no contact with my mom. We have a history that just generational things. And when you become a parent, you're going to become a parent, you're like, I need to make some changes because this has to change somewhere. And I took that initiative. There were things that I didn't think that were right for my child or from my family. And that's okay. I just come from a background where on my maternal side, there just weren't tools or communication to do better. So I was like, I need to do better. This is my responsibility. If I know better, I have to do better. So I went no contact. So then after that, I was like, well, I don't really have anybody to tell me what to do. I just have to wing it. So Google, shout out to Google, because there was no chat back then. Google helped me a lot. But one of the things that helped me immensely postpartum was coming back and being at the gym. I would literally, my first day back, I had the little bassinet. I put Mila there on the side and I was rolling. And that's
awesome.
it. And they would put cones around her. And if she was,
nice.
you know, hungry, I'd take a 5-minute, 10-minute break. This is my rest round, feed the baby, go back. But it was rough. At the same time that Mila was born, a week before, one of my husband's very close friends passed away from a very aggressive cancer. And he was just, he was going through it. I think that he had a lot to digest when that happened. It's a huge change. And then a week later, you're like, I'm responsible for a child. You know, what do I do? And he got help. He went through therapy. But I think that something that helped me immensely is just I felt so alone in that period, that being at the gym was one of those things where it's like, you're coming back to your community and everything feels right. Everything feels safe again. And I think I really needed that in the moment. So it's one of those things where it's such a part of your life. I think it's very important to consider the community aspect, not just the physical, you know, because that I think that really helped me avoid any kind of like postpartum
depression
situation or anxiety or anything, because it's a huge deal. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And I have to keep you alive. And then, you know, my husband is going through whatever he's going through and I want to support him too. It's like, you can only spread yourself so much. You can't.
you lose yourself. You do. And I mean, in pregnancy and then when the babies are tiny, you lose yourself a lot as women. And it's part of the process, part of the phase, and that's fine. But it is nice that you had that BJJ community to go back to, because I feel like I can imagine that going and rolling or just even hanging out and talking shit. Yeah. It just kind of brings a little piece of you back.
100%. Because that's that one thing that's purely yours. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
Even if you have a spouse, you know, even if you have someone who, because I do, my boyfriend's the one who actually introduced me to jujitsu.
Oh, that's so cool.
And, you know, and like even still, even on the nights where we go and we both, and I beg him to roll with me, basically, you know, I have to beg him, but that's okay. But it's still his, you know, like there are even sometimes now where I'm like, you know, I'm going to choose someone else and not just use you, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
It's yours and it's your game. It's your choices. It's you and your, you know, your training partner or your opponent. And that's what you're responsible for in and of that entire moment or 6 minutes.
Right.
So, I mean, it's like a therapy. It's a release, and it's separate from the rest of the things going on in your life.
For sure.
It's like a tornado and you're like in the middle, but it's calm.
It's like a meditation. It's like yoga.
Yeah,
it's involuntary. But you have nothing else. You have no way of focusing on anything else other than what's presently happening in front of you. Yeah. It's what is that saying? The Rubik's Cube that's constantly changing and it's trying to kill you. Like that's what's going on for the 5 minutes. You don't have a choice but to be fully present. And that's what really takes everything away. It takes the edge away. It takes the pressure away. It takes everything away. And you're like, I can fully be present in a moment when there's so much chaos, you know?
Yeah, it takes away the 20,000 questions or to-do lists that you have on your brain, you know?
The honeydew.
Oh crap, did I turn the oven off?
And you don't realize how much you need that, like that moment of silence, because you don't get it until you go for that class and you're there for an hour and you're like, that's what I needed this whole time, you know?
And those are the classes that you're usually like, I don't want to go today. I should not go. Those are the ones where you're like, I'm going to sit in the car and see how I feel. Kind of class. And you're going to walk in and you're like, well, let me see who's here. You like look in the parking lot for the cars. And like, who's training today? Right?
That would be this week. It's a couple of days ago. And then I went, and after I was like, I'm so happy I went. So happy I went. I even told one of the girls that too. I think it was France. I was like, I'm so happy I went. Today was one of those days where I was just like, it was a shit day. And I was like, maybe I just shouldn't go because then I'll put my energy onto somebody who doesn't
Yeah, you don't want
deserve
to.
it.
You don't want to be the Debbie Downer.
And then
Yeah.
you start to justify it in your mind, and you're like, no, shut up, just go. It's fine.
Just do the warm up.
How do you feel after that?
Just drill.
Yeah.
Okay, just one roll.
You're in.
3 hours later, you're back.
Like, really,
Oh my God, it's 9:30. What happened?
yeah.
Hey, so we have a lot of guy listeners, obviously. I mean, it's a male-dominated sport, but like, what would you say, what advice would you give them if they're going to roll with someone who tells them that they're pregnant?
I would say it's a great opportunity. I'm a big advocate for when you stay active on the jiu-jitsu scene when you're pregnant, top position, smash and pass. I'd say, babe, bring that guard game. Bring that guard game because we are looking to smash and pass 100%. Obviously no knee on belly. There's going to be some positions that are, you know, but it's actually not that limiting if you think about it. Takedowns, control the takedown.
Yeah.
Control the landing. Yeah. If you're going to go for the takedown, do the entry. If you get to a position where you're like, oh, you know what? If I'm going to sweep and come up for something that I shouldn't come up for, reset. There's always the option to reset. That's never off the table. And I think that the biggest thing is to establish those guidelines. Like I had, I only had like 1 or 2 partners that were like, there's no way I'm touching you. When the baby's here, we'll roll, including a black belt.
See you in 10 months.
Yeah, which I'm like, I'm very the opposite. I know it's great to be selective with your partners. I think that that's a fantastic thing. I think that you need to live in your comfort zone to a certain extent. And I'm very like, let's go. I don't care. It could be a 300-pound, wrestler.
That's you guys.
Let's do
Yeah, I'm here
takedowns.
with
Like
you.
I choose violence every time. So I'm probably not the best with that. But if you don't feel comfortable, don't do the roll. Table it. Table it for after the pregnancy, or hey, you know what? I'm off today, or I have an injury and I can't work the right game with you. It's okay. Like, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to deny the role. And I'm sure she'll be okay with that. Like, all right, thanks for thinking of me. On to the next, it's not a super big deal. Another thing you can do is you can do positional sparring.
Nice.
You don't have to roll. You can stay moving. You can, if you want to keep drilling the technique, you can keep drilling technique on the side, or, hey, you know what? Not really, I guess you can say rest round, but like an active rest round, like, hey, can you come here? I want to work like this entry or whatever. And you can use a pregnant partner for that. That's not an issue. Where I've done too is if it's a technique where I'm not able to have it done on me, I would rotate with 2 other people and we would do 2, 2, and 2. So the technique was never done on me, but I was able to do the technique and nobody would be the odd man out.
Yeah, we do that sometimes.
That's
Yeah.
With
With injuries.
Yeah, depending.
That's a good hack.
yeah.
Yeah, I've used that several times, especially when there's an odd man out. Like, okay,
Yeah.
just rotate in.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Injuries too.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
with injuries. I mean, and that comes with having such a great
That's good.
community too.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely beneficial. I have one more question though for you. Being pregnant, did you ever roll with anybody else who was pregnant at the same time?
No, but I did have the pleasure of, I've mentored actually several women. I've mentored women in Australia. I've mentored women in California. At some point there was like a group of pregnant women in California at the same gym that started following me. And I was like, oh my, and I became so invested in their journey. So it's like, this is so cool. They're all pregnant and they're all training. This is like a dream come true. And I thought that was pretty cool. And then I've also, mentored for postpartum, what to do postpartum. I've never had the pleasure, but I've had the ability to help, mentor lots of women that stayed on the mats,
That's awesome.
which
so
has
cool.
been so
Thank
cool.
you for that.
You're like a jiu-jitsu doula, basically.
The jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I got to change my handle.
Your handle, in case you need one.
Good one.
just in case.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome what you're doing for the jiu-jitsu community.
I
Seriously.
appreciate that. I love it. I think it's it's an interesting time in the community right now, because there's a lot of crazy stuff happening. There's a lot of things that should not be happening.
Yeah.
And at the same time, there's so many good things that are happening that unfortunately are shadowing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
with the other.
The negative.
But there's so much going, and this is why I love what you guys are doing, because I feel like even within our space, and I'm familiar with this because how many people in our community are women, and how many are pregnant, and how many actually stay on the mat. It's it's such a niche,
minuscule.
right?
It's just smaller. and
But it's so
smaller.
cool to see that even with the podcasting element, that you guys are out there because there's more representation for us.
Yeah.
I've always been like used to being the minority. Okay, the only girl on the team, the only this, the only that, whatever. but it's still really cool to know that it's there and it's happening, because we do need it. We need to hear about the good stuff happening. And then we also need to shed light on the stuff that shouldn't happen. There should be a table where we can lay everything on it.
Yeah, we don't learn otherwise, and we don't adapt and get better.
Absolutely.
Just like in jiu-jitsu, it's
the same
so many lessons.
I'm telling you, more people need to drink the Kool-Aid. Okay?
Yeah. We haven't said it enough, for sure. Yeah, there's so many great lessons, and I think one of them, injury-wise and pregnancy-wise, and pregnancy and injury are not the same, but just treating it as in learning to speak up for yourself is one of the first things. Like, you had it kind of like almost like an advantage there, where you had to do it fast because you were pregnant, and you had to figure out how to speak up and say what you could and couldn't do, and do it like valiantly.
For sure.
That's an important lesson for everybody in jiu-jitsu. We learn that when we get injured too. We realize no one else is going to say, "Hey, my arm is messed up. Please don't yank it today."
Yeah, don't crank.
You
just
have to
don't
do
crank
it.
anything.
Yeah.
Take
like,
it slow.
My ribs funky. Like, just don't, like,
Yeah.
like, you don't do that to me, I'm not gonna do it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as women, we aren't taught that when we're little.
No,
we
that's
didn't.
so
We
true.
didn't grow up with. I think we're doing a better thing with our kids now and the new generations. But older generations weren't taught to do that. We were taught to like put up with a lot.
Yeah.
So it's really great to see now how much women are speaking up and saying it, and we're able to communicate better.
And it's okay. That's the
Yeah.
other thing too. Like, oh, if we say something, this is it. No, it's a movie that we're playing in our head. And we're like, all right, cool.
Yeah, it's
They keep it
they
moving.
move- yeah.
Yeah.
It's business as usual.
We
know?
think we have to prove ourselves, and I'm sure like that's how you felt. Like you were saying, like when you were pregnant, I'm sure at some point you thought you might have to. We don't have to prove ourselves to anybody.
You don't.
We're just trying to make ourselves better.
Absolutely.
To myself only.
Yeah.
Julio said the same thing. He's like, you need to like stop thinking so much. And I'm like, I wish I could.
Yeah. Get out of our head.
Can you make it stop? I can't.
But yeah.
It's normal. It's normal. It's part of the game, because I think that happens to everybody. You get in your head. You get in your head like, oh, I need to be better. I need to do. Ride the wave for a little bit. Yeah. Push.
Yeah,
Don't get
just keep going.
cozy.
Yeah.
Don't get cushy. No, but find that little patch right in between getting really cozy and going
Push the
100% all the time.
Yes.
Find that little zone and live there for a little bit. Ride that wave.
If I get a little frustrated after a roll, like I know that I was pushed a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm frustrated, with certain people that I roll with. But like, like it's actually like visible.
Yes.
I'm not just like, wee, I'm choked. Here I am again. But like it's afterwards, like my face just goes like, Then I
Music
know.
off in the car. Stays
Yeah.
an extra 10 minutes when you park at home. Just
Yeah, you're just like sitting, you're
your
like
rage.
dazing. You're like, what did I do? Like, how did I keep going here? I'm like, what's wrong with me?
like, why did I extend my arm?
Yeah.
Why did
Yeah.
I do that? Why didn't I post?
Yeah. And then it comes to you and like
the middle of the
weirdest
night,
moments.
wake up.
Yes, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I got the detail.
Aha.
Not
Yeah.
again.
Daniela, you have anything else that you want to share? That you want to... we close to an hour that we're talking.
Oh, yeah. It flew.
that's awesome.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
love
if
it.
you want to
Flows.
share, if you want to say some advice for someone that's starting or thinking in starting jiu-jitsu or...
Oh, also quick disclaimer: we're not giving out medical advice in this whole episode.
Yeah,
guys.
there's never,
No, medical advice. Oh, yeah. We
Go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Yes.
She said it.
please.
See the doctor.
A
Do
few
what the doctor.
times.
Don't doctor shop if they tell you something you don't like. Let's be realistic. Okay.
Which we do that a lot. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
which we do a lot, but sometimes if it's not in the cards, it's okay. We
Table it for
adapt and we overcome. If we table it, we table it. The mats are always waiting. They're always waiting. If you need, even when you need a break, step away, gather yourself. Don't say, I'm done forever. Just take a break. See how you feel. And then go back to it. And if it's not for you, well, listen, jiu-jitsu is for everybody, but it's not at the same time. This is where you really see like the good, the bad, the ugly. It's like a mirror. And I think that parenthood is the same way. Your children are mirrors.
Yes.
And they're the mirrors that you cannot walk away from. You need to see the good, the bad, and the in-between. And you can address it, which sometimes sucks. Or you could keep living your cushy life and business as usual. That's okay. Your results are going to vary, right? And jiu-jitsu is the same thing. Sometimes you're going to hit a patch where you're just like, ugh,
Yeah.
this sucks. Why do I keep showing up? This is crazy. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Like I've also had an injury. Like I had a full, a ACL reconstruction a couple of years ago. So I went through that as well. And I'm like, man, and I'm like, but it's so good for me. I'm going to keep going. Right.
Yeah.
And even then, like I would show up and talk crap with my, brace on. I'm like, hey, and they're like, oh, we're gonna break your leg again. And I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. If you need to step away from something, I think that anything in life, it's worth looking at what will it make you a better person on the other end. Parenthood's like that. Business is like that. Your relationship with yourself is like that. I think that anything that will push the needle in the right direction of something positive for you is worth going through the muck for 100%. Sometimes you got to deal with the muck to get the good stuff.
I also 100% agree. I really do.
So thank you so much. Was great. Thanks for driving and spend the time with us and share all this information. Be so open with everything. That's just really great.
I appreciate this space, ladies. Thank you so much. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, we do. We always have fun.
Thank you.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, it's true.
All of it.
So we finished today with a quote from Pedro Valente. BJJ is a lifestyle. It's self-confidence, health, and mental balance. So if you like this podcast, please follow us on Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram at GiSquad Podcast.
Awesome.
Until the next time.